Hi, Peggy Callahan from Dream Apple Farm out here in the orchard, letting you know what we're doing these days on the farm, which at this time of the year, it's April 1st, would be pruning and training our apple trees. I'm here with Ed and Maisie, our orchard dog, in front of a snow sweet tree that was planted in 2018 and which needs to be pruned and trained. So the tree has a nice leader going to the top, but it has a lot of branches here that have developed kind of complicated branching structures and are less than efficient. I often say that pruning and training to me is certainly a very, very important part of making the tree as efficient as possible in terms of its fruiting capacity. And I often think of the trees as being very similar to rambunctious, healthy 5-year-olds with a lot of excess energy and often very bad ideas. And my job as the orchardist is to be like a kindergarten teacher and try to make this tree to be the best it can be, the most efficient tree it can be. And that's through pruning and training. So I'm going to show you that that involves basically bringing the branches down below the horizontal, because when we do that, the tree sends different hormonal messages down this branch that tell it to quit trying to be the leader and quit trying to be vertical in its orientation and instead start to make fruit. This would be fruit for next year, not this year. Those fruit buds are already set. And I'll just point out that when I say that, all of these are fruit buds along the trunk here and along some of the branches. So we want these branches that have no fruit buds on them currently to get them for next year. All right, so let's bring these guys down, and almost immediately that starts to send a message to the branch that it's got to have a different role in life, a different job, which is going to be to make fruit. So let's see, just pull some of these down. So the young, tender 1-year-old wood is easy pretty much to prune and train, but then you get to something like this guy, which first of all, you can see that this branch is much thicker than some of these guys, and this one has pretty much reached the end of the line here in terms of its efficiency. It's developed a lot of weird, complicated branching structures, and so this one really just needs to be renewed, and by that I mean pruned out. So I'm just going to go ahead and prune it out. There you go. What that does is it creates a lot of room for the rest of the branches, and over the course of the season, new branches will come out from this stub, and we'll be able to prune and train those in the future, getting more wood, getting more fruit on them. When I see something like this, this is just going to shade. I could save this. I could do something like this and bring it down, and it might fruit next year, or I could simply get it off, and I'll show you an example of that in a minute, like this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of some of these branches here that are simply going to shade over the course of the season, and keep basically this branch. It's fairly young, it's got some fruit on it. When we come to something like this, again, kind of a complicated branching structure, I could do something like this, bringing that guy down and bringing this guy in, and next year likely we'll see fruit on one or both of those little branches. Let's see, anything else here that we absolutely must do? Oh, this is one thing that I like to do. I like to take some of these branches that are close in, save them by bringing them down. This will become my branch of the future. And next year, I'll likely be pruning this guy out about here, because again, this is a fairly thick branch. It's coming to the end of the line. Meanwhile, I'm going to take out some of these branches here that are going to be shading all of this fruit along here. Let's put that guy down. That often happens. Take them out. There we go. And now we have a branch that has fruit on it, one that I've saved for the future. It'll become a fruiting branch, and I'll prune that guy out. I'll prune this part out later. This guy can come down. Let's see what else. This guy could come over and come down. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I think it looks a lot better certainly, than some of the ones you can look over there. These are the yet to be done trees, and they're all kind of wild and crazy. But now this tree has been given clear instructions about what it needs to do to be the best productive tree ever. So that's what's happening at Dream Apple Farm these days. See you next time.